Hey, I'm Andrew, and thank you very much for dropping by my channel. And this is my vlog. I'm starting up my YouTube channel again, or trying to just create content now for people. I posted a few videos prior to this one today, and basically they were just of me walking around a park here in Leduc, Alberta, which is where I live. And I wanted to do an introductory video of myself so that people can see me and I can explain a little bit now of my journey and what I'm doing in my life and what I want my channel to be, basically. But I thought I would start with my health and basically what brought me to a career change at this point of my life. I'm 46 years old now. I used to work in Fort McMurray, Alberta, which is where I grew up. So shout out to Fort McMurray, Alberta. I used to work in the oil sands industry at a plant site called Syncrude, which some of you may have heard of, which has now been bought out by Suncor. But basically in 2020, I was laid off, and we were working from home for a little while prior to being laid off. And during that time, I started to get really big. I'm still a big guy. I'm working on it daily. But I started to get really, really big at a very fast rate. Just to the point where I couldn't move. I couldn't really breathe. I was bedridden for a few months. And eventually that led to being taken away by an ambulance. And in and out of consciousness. I was found in my home, in and out of consciousness. A family member had called 911 for me. And I was taken. Luckily in the nick of time. It was crazy to even think about what I've been through. I woke up a week later after being on a ventilator. So I had this tube down my throat and down into my lungs to keep me breathing. My arms and legs were strapped to a bed, which kind of makes sense because you don't want somebody to panic or rip out IVs that are in you and that sort of thing. And a doctor told me that they just got out of 4 days that I was in a coma for a week. Over 200 pounds of water, basically, that was trapped in my body. It turned out that I was having respiratory failure when they found me, along with right-sided heart failure. Very scary. And that led to my heart not working properly and my body just basically ballooning up everywhere, retaining fluid. And I'm very lucky that I didn't die from that. So I didn't really know how to take that. It was very scary. I also found out that I had pneumonia, which contributed to a lot of the illness that I was having. I found out that I was a type 2 diabetic. I found out that I had 2 fractured ankles, plantar fasciitis in both my feet, bone spurs in one foot. I was told that I would be on bottled oxygen for the rest of my life. And as if that wasn't bad enough. You know what I mean? I didn't really know what to make of being on bottled oxygen for the rest of my life. But I couldn't even stand up. I couldn't walk. I had to use a walker just to get out of bed and stand myself up. And I had to use a cane to walk. And I can tell you right now that I fought like hell to get back on my feet, and I didn't know what the road ahead of me looked like. It was scary. And on top of being laid off, like, I thought, what am I going to do? I was in extremely bad shape. So I was over 700 pounds. So in total, because I spent just over about a month, or just over a month at the Royal Alex in Edmonton. And I just want to say thank you very much to everybody that works in the healthcare industry. Everyone from the healthcare aides, the nurses, doctors, people that bring you food, people that take your blood, people that make your bread, people that do the laundry, people that bathe you, and the list is long. And they don't get the recognition that they deserve, along with the 911 operators, the dispatchers, ambulance drivers, fire truck and fire department personnel, police, you name it. I just wanted to say thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, because without you all, I wouldn't be here today. And even though you may not hear it all the time or at all very much, it is greatly appreciated what you do. So thank you. Keep up the good work. So there were times where, like, the rehab team would, they'd come in and I can tell you, like, my whole body was in extreme pain. I've never felt so much pain in my life. And they got me up, they would strap me to a table, and I would have to try and use my legs a little bit to squat. That's how I started. And can you imagine that? You're sitting there and you're pretty much naked, and you're trying to do that in front of people. But again, I'm very thankful. So, I didn't know what to do, and I was carrying a house, and the list is long. I was hopeless. And it was a lot to take in, on top of trying to use a BiPAP machine now, and learning about the obstructive sleep apnea that I had. It was all so overwhelming to find out all at once. So when I got out of the hospital, there was really nothing that I could do. I was in no shape to go and walk around and apply for jobs. The doctor told me that I couldn't work in an environment like that, and clearly, so I decided to give up commuting, because I live full-time now in Leduc, Alberta. And I thought, when I look back on my life and look back at my 30s, all I did was work. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that when you have an experience like I did, when you almost leave this planet, I thought, I want to do things different going forward in my life. And I decided to close the book on that lifestyle of commuting, working away, being gone, so on and so forth, working long days, long stretches, little days off. And as much as I loved it, I will carry the memories that I have from it for the rest of my life. I met some extremely incredible, amazing people. I've worked with some amazing people. We had a great team. I miss them all very much. But like I say, I'll carry the memories of that with me for the rest of my life. One of the best places that you could work was Syncrude. The safety, the atmosphere, the whole atmosphere, the pride that you would take working there, and we're all a team and we're all a family, and it was incredible. And just the history there of my dad working there, and so on and so forth. My dad passed away about 10 years ago. And that was during another bad time in Fort McMurray, the Fort McMurray wildfires. So when he passed away, that was happening. It's just I was able to get out of Fort McMurray a few days prior to the evacuation happening of Fort McMurray, or else I would have never made it to say my goodbyes. So anyway, back to my health journey, and I decided, like I said, to focus on my health. Got to get up, got to get walking, and I'll start to figure out the rest later. And that was what I did. And it was hard. It was tough. There was a lot of days where I was frustrated because there were things that I just used to be able to do and now I couldn't do. Sometimes it was even upsetting because your body isn't working and it just doesn't feel proper. And there's all these things wrong with you. It was overwhelming. So, I went and got a Fitbit and I decided to start tracking my steps, and because that was something, and when I was out of the hospital, I was over 500 pounds, whether if it was 520, 530, whatever it was. So I ended up losing in total today to where I am now, I'm down nearly 300 pounds. 300 pounds plus, because I was over I believe it was over 720. This is pretty crazy. And after that, I got walking every day. Like I had to strap on this big oxygen bottle to my back and put the oxygen line in around my nose and get my cane out and go for a walk. And you know how that looked for me? I had to take that everywhere. That's how my day was. Struggle to get out of bed and stand, use the cane, strap the oxygen bottle on because I had to be on it 24 hours a day. At night, I would there was an oxygen machine that would pump air into my BiPAP machine, so it was loud. And then good luck sleeping already with that BiPAP machine on. So anyway, wake up, put the oxygen bottle around my back, put my oxygen line in after having a shower, struggling to do that. And that would be how I would walk around with 2 fractured ankles and plantar fasciitis and all these other things. And I would just start by going from the front door to the couch, so many times, or as many times as I could in a day that my body would allow me to do before saying stop. Some days that was twice. And over time, weeks, months, that turned into going to the garage door and back. And at least now I was getting the use of some stairs in. But every day, and again, a few times a day, whatever I could handle. Just doing that. And then I started to go to the end of the driveway and back, to the end of the block and back. I would go and check the mail because that mailbox was a bit further. Go there and back every day. And I made it to the end of the whole block and back. And then one day I decided to go around the block. And I remember looking at these green power boxes that you see on people's lawns. And I would see one coming up. And I would look at my heart rate. And I would only walk, probably not very far. My heart rate was like 156, 160. Pretty high, And I used to think, okay, well, go and sit down on that block right there if you need to. But I challenged myself and I didn't want to sit down. I just propped myself up sometimes with my cane so that I was standing, but it would take a little bit of the weight off of me, and then I would just keep going. And I had a big oxygen bottle on my back. And it's so surreal to think about this. And I did that every day, and then eventually, when I made it around the block, that was like a big thing for me. Couldn't believe it. And now you're talking about 6, 7, 8 months later, after getting out of the hospital. You know, maybe even a bit longer. During that time, what am I going to do for a career now? Because I was in really bad shape. I decided to get into safety. So I took these courses at a company called Alberta Construction Safety Association, located south side of Edmonton, Alberta. Excellent company and people to deal with. Excellent experience taking all the courses that I took. They were all online, which was even better for me. So I managed to take 13 courses. That took me a few months, 3 or 4 months roughly. You know, because you got to schedule in for the dates when they're available. And then I had to do an audit on a company. So that took me a few months as well. So it took me a little while. All while using my savings to, you know, get back on my feet, right? So it was just incredible. And now, after every single day, I didn't take a day off. If I took a day off, I had to at least get 4,000 steps in, because that was like big to me at that point. And I would do it, you know, whether that meant just doing laps in the house kind of thing. And it got to a point where I started to go to the library because I saw, and now we're in the wintertime, but the city where I live, they do a great job of clearing all the snow in the wintertime especially. So thank you very much to the city of Leduc, especially their utilities department, because excellent job through and through with everybody that do the parks, everybody. Just great people, very friendly when you meet them as well. And so I can't tell you how much that meant to me, because I thought, well, what am I going to do now? Right now that it's snowing, you don't want to fall on ice and that, you know what I mean? Because I was in bad shape. And I would start to do a lap around this library, you know, this trail that they had there. It was big enough for me. It used to take me over 30 minutes, 36 minutes roughly, walk around it. Can't believe it. You know, I used to see this garbage can in the distance. And I said, okay, I'm going to walk to that garbage can. I'm going to come back. And then that was it for me for the day, right? And I did it for months and months. But I went further and further and further each day. And it was so scary because now you're going beyond, like, as far as you can go. You've never gone this far before. There was nobody around. So it was a bit scary. Things that you'd never think that you would think about. And anyway, as time went on, I started to go to a park. I found a park here in Leduc, which is quite a few of. Again, excellent. City does a great job cleaning the parks, the trails. I love it. And I started to go around this park, and I did it, I don't know how many times, right? Like, I could only do it about half. Then I would go to 3/4, and then I would go all the way around it. And I just had the willpower to do it. And I put it in the back of my head that you got to do this. It's going to get better. Every step that you take is going to get better and better and better. And I felt like a freight train gaining that momentum. And it came to a point where I no longer needed to be on bottled oxygen just from walking. I shed more weight. I'm down to about 400 pounds nearly now. I bought some gym equipment. I have a treadmill on the days where it gets too cold out. But now I'm walking almost 11,000 or 10,000 steps every day. And my type 2 diabetes level is back down to normal, to the point where I can nearly reverse it. And my sleep apnea, I was having, I believe that they said 93 or 94 events an hour where I was stopping breathing. That is crazy. Down to one. Down to one. And I believe when I lose, I want to say I'm aiming for another 200 pounds, but I'm a big guy. I've always been a big guy. I'm 6'3". I used to go to the gym a lot when I was younger. Stopped going for about 10 years. So I'm hoping to get 150, 200 would be nice. Maybe more. I don't know. But I'll just try with that. 100 would be nice. So I'm aiming now to get myself into a gym. I finished all the safety courses. I couldn't really find any full-time work. I would take the odd contract in and around Edmonton, and it would only seem a lot of the companies were only looking for 6-month, 8-month, a year contracts. And I just kind of thought, after doing a few of those, because now it's 2026. It's March the 1st today. And I guess I don't want to say that I wasn't happy doing that career. It's just that I couldn't find any full-time work. I believe I might have been burnt out from the whole industry itself and working in the oil industry, so to speak. As much as I love it and respect it, my body, I just thought there must be something else that I can relate to, that I would enjoy doing, that would give me some flexibility with my schedule to continue getting my health back on track, and to be around here for my mom as she gets older in her life. She needs some support, some family, because I was born in England and all my family basically is in England. So it's just her and I basically. And I'm not married and I don't have any kids. So I decided to walk away from safety as well. I started to get into real estate. I took a course about 1.5 years ago, which was the first course, the fundamentals of real estate. Did that. And again, that was offered online. So that was a bonus for me. I could do it after work, or I could do it on my days off, or I could do it in between contracts. So that's what I did. And I studied and passed. And that was quite overwhelming because I had been in school for such a long time, but I enjoyed it. And I did the second half of the course now, which basically was just a residential real estate course. And I passed that. And it's been, I'm coming up to my 3rd week roughly now of, I've joined a brokerage, Kick Realty in Edmonton, serve in Edmonton, Leduc, and surrounding areas. And it was really overwhelming in the beginning because I didn't really know what to expect. I still don't, but I just know that I enjoy helping people. I really enjoyed, I built a few homes over the years through a builder, and I just loved it. And I just think it brings me happiness to help somebody find a home. So I'm trying it out, and I hope that I can continue on and be successful at it. And my channel is about just life in general, and showing people that if I can do it, you can too. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there and tell your story, and maybe you'll help somebody. And that is my goal, really. And if people just enjoy watching my channel, that is my goal and what I'm setting out to do. And maybe to hold myself accountable a little bit as well. And I must say, I really enjoy it. I have a TikTok channel as well. And I love getting out for a walk and shooting video and pictures, and maybe it inspires somebody. And I've met some incredible people from it. And I also want to say, during all this journey, when I got out of the hospital, I decided to change up my diet, obviously. Not that I was eating poorly. I wasn't really eating correctly, and the time that I was eating, and so on and so forth. So I've just changed everything up. But I had a holistic nutritionist in Leduc, Alberta. Her name was Emily McDonald, and she was absolutely incredible. I tried her meal plan for a month, and it really set me on the right track. And if you look up and research holistic lifestyle or meal plan or diet, it's basically, like a whole food diet, but it also, it helps you understand, like, going outside for a walk is good for your health, or being in nature, because there is a lot of nutrients in nature. So, excuse me. If you ever want to try it or are interested in trying it, I would really highly recommend trying it for a month. And you can't go wrong. And if you want Emily's number, I believe that she even offers a free consultation where you can kind of talk and she can kind of get to know you a little bit. Highly recommend. And also, like, I decided to get back into journaling a little bit, because as good as technology is, I really needed something to kind of get my eyes to go like this compared to being able to seeing over here and here. I didn't want any distractions. So I wanted to just give a shout out to a friend of mine that I met on TikTok. Her name is Lynn, Lyne, Godin, Godin. And she's made a few journals. I have all three. You can order them on Amazon. They're not very expensive. But even if you just decided to try one, which is what I chose to do in the beginning, it really helped me. And it helped me just say to myself, if you give this an honest chance, it will change your life. And it had changed my life. So I just wanted to express that and just let people know about that as well. So this is my first video of just getting back out there now and putting myself out there and seeing what the world has in store for me. And just, I wanted to show people, I'm starting a new chapter in my life, and I want to build a good channel for people to enjoy, for people to have conversation, and wherever the road takes me. So thank you very much for watching. Please give me a like, subscribe, and follow along. So thank you very much. I'm going to enjoy my tea now, and I hope that you have a great day, and always remember to keep going. So thanks a lot. I'm Andrew, and it was nice to put this video out there. So this is my first one in front of the camera on YouTube. So thank you very much. Bye for now.